Oh, we live, baby. Yeah.
We live. Welcome everybody to Notable Quotables, your new favorite podcast. I'm your host, Octavius William Lundy, joined today by a dear friend of mine, Echo. How we doing, Echo?
Yo, what's good, my guy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You want to give yourself a little short introduction, where you're from, what you're into, however deep you want to get into it.
All right, my name, as the man said, is Echo AKA the Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
And our gracious host was on my podcast, Sandcast, a while ago. That's where we started our podcast relationship. And
Yes,
before
sir.
that,
Yes, sir.
we were just talking about we've been friends for almost 10 fucking years. You're
Yep.
my brother.
Crazy.
You, my guy. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah.
So what are we doing tonight?
All right, so the last episode, I decided to let my guest kick it off. I think I'm going to stick with that theme. So you got one quote or two quotes?
I got two.
You got two? All right, so then we'll start with whichever one you want to pick to go first. We'll get into that. We'll get into mine, and then depending on where we are with time, we'll get into your second one. So I'll let you start us off, sir.
All right, so the first one, I feel like music has been such a strong part of our friendship. I want to do a musical thing, and especially the one and only Jermaine Cole.
Jermaine Cole.
And the first lyric I want to talk about was, "I could put an M on your head like Luigi, brother."
Oh my God, he got that hat too. My guy.
No, I'm just playing that. I'm just playing. We're doing. I want to do the chorus from "Born Sinner" by J. Cole.
Though. Oh, taking us back. Okay.
Yeah, that old school.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a born sinner, but I'll die better than that, I swear. You were always where I needed you to be, whether you were there or not there.
Can you read that one more time for us?
Of course. I'm a born sinner, but I'll die better than that, I swear. You were always where I needed you to be, whether you were there or not there.
All right, you want to tell us a little bit about what that means to you and why you chose that one today?
I think I gravitated towards that one. Well, J. Cole, because we've talked about J. Cole fucking endlessly. That dude is a fucking amazing lyricist. Mm-hmm. That one, though, I think it's more me and the group, growing and changing.
Right.
Me in particular, I used to party very hardy.
Yeah.
And when I was in it, I was very caught up in it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
To the detriment of myself sometimes. I would I would work and I would pay my bills and I would handle my responsibilities, but it's more I would do that.
Yeah.
And be caught up in a wheel and just keep going and going and going.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. That was the main focus. Pay the bills, go to work, and then party, but you're not doing anything maybe outside of that. Yeah, I feel you.
And in the last year in particular, I lost a couple people. A close friend of ours passed away and all that.
Right.
And it just makes me realize where I started off doesn't control where I'm going to end up being.
Not at all.
And just getting out of that lifestyle. Change so many things, stop drinking, stop partying that all the time.
Right.
Believe it or not, I used to partake in weed once in a while, dude. I know it's a fucking shocker, dude.
The devil's lettuce, sir? No.
Once in a while, dude.
Ooh.
But it's that shit alters your mind whether you notice it or not, really.
Oh yeah. I'll contest to that. I mean, I tell people all the time. They ask me if I partake, and I say no. I have no judgment about it. I used to all the time. I think there was a point where it's it was beneficial, it was good, and then there was a point where it's just you're just zoning out. You're just zoning the fuck out. And I think once in a while, that's cool to do. Like, I know definitely, like, shit, when the pandemic hit, oh my God, there was a couple of times where I was just like, yeah, but like, I would do it in a different way. Even still, then I kind of matured in a way. It's like, I'm gonna go out deep into the forest, deep out into nature, no people around, it's just quiet, me in the stream, just a little bit, and just kind of like, I can find peace, I can chill. The whole world's kind of in a frenzy, but I can like relax. But like, at least for me, I know that's not the kind of state I want to be in 24/7 or even the majority of the time. Like I personally cannot focus and get stuff done like that. There are people who can. Kudos to them. It's not me.
No, absolutely not. Like, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do anything anymore. Like, towards the end of it, like, I started getting paranoid and shit. I'm like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm scared.
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, you know how much I love J. Cole. I want to call myself like a super fan or anything, but I really appreciate. I say more than his music. I appreciate him as a person. I think that like when you watch his interviews and you just kind of understand. I think one of the things I like the most about him is the way he approaches and talks about the newer generation. Because obviously we've heard so much stuff from like the hip hop and rap community. Oh, this new generation is this and that. Um, I feel like he's kind of like the perfect in between of like, y'all do you, get your money, have fun, make your music. That's awesome. As long as you're not sitting here talking about you're better than me, we got no beef. We got no beef. But I think that a lot of that for him, obviously, it's a lot of like the competition of rap, But I think for him, it's like you guys do talk about a different kind of material than I do. Some of you are real about it. Some of you are not. I'm not calling names, but everything I spit is real. Everything I spit is true. Whether it's flexing, whether it's stories, whether it's painful admissions. Like what was the one where he was doing like the abortion story?
Oh shit!
Because I think that was the original Cold World. I think that was the original first like mainstream album or first studio album rather.
I think so. Yeah.
What song was that? What was it?
I couldn't tell you right.
Yeah,
right
I can't
now.
remember either. But like something like that. Like man, that's storytelling, and that's also beyond just like his own personal stories. Like that's a narrative about what goes on all the time. So this man's ability to do things like that, it's on a whole other level.
I believe him, like you're saying, man. Like I 100% believe everything he's rapping about.
Oh yeah. And see, the thing is, like artists like him, when they're feeling like I'm the shit, they'll let you know. When they're feeling like I feel like shit, they'll let you know. And that's why I believe everything they'll say. A lot of like rappers or hip hop artists. I mean, it's a lot of it's about being braggadocious and talking your shit and talking about your life and everything. I believe the best of the best, they give you whatever's real at the moment. And so why would I think you're lying about how much money or cars or whatever you have if you tell me about how you're struggling with the idea of having to get an abortion? Am I ready for a child? Things like that. Why would you tell me that? You could just, disregard that entirely. Just keep talking your shit, but you don't. You tell me what's really on your mind, and he always does that.
Goddamn. Yeah. Fucking J. Cole, dude. Like it all just a little bit of lyrics. It was like J. Cole's the shit. Yo, I'm just saying, somewhere out there, when a hardcore J. Cole fan watches this, they're gonna be like, "That motherfucker, the song was ...
Right? Yep. It's gonna be 10 years from now. Somebody's gonna watch this and be in the comments. Damn, dumb motherfuckers! It was Yep. Get a notification on my phone. Man, I forgot all about this.
Yeah. Just all caps message. You think this is a fucking game?
Right. Yeah, man. No, what was the quote one more time? Because I wanted to get my piece on it. I just started fanboying for a minute.
I'm a born sinner, but I'll die better than that. Mm-hmm. I swear you were always where I needed you to be, whether you were there or not there.
Now, see, I think there's lots of ways to interpret that. I think that knowing that he does like kind of follow like the Christian faith, believing in Jesus and things like that. To me, it sounds like, obviously, like going with the born sinner theme. It's to me, it sounds like he's talking about like Jesus, the idea of like Jesus walks with you and things like that. I think that for me, the way I take it is, obviously Jesus or the Holy Spirit or however you might want to put it. I'm not particularly well versed with the terminology, so I don't want to offend anybody. I'm just kind of going off of what I know. But like the idea is like you're always supported, you're always guided, you always have that spirit or whatever with you. And I think sometimes I feel like what he's saying there is whether or not I went to you and had you guiding me, or whether I went about my path on my own, knowing that you were with me, even if you weren't guiding me, I knew you were there watching me. I think that's kind of what he's saying is like, because I follow you, because I have my faith in this, I know that I can walk alone, not like alone, because you're never alone in that. But like he knew that because he had faith and his heart's in the right place, he can always walk his path. That's kind of how I took it. I don't know. What do you think about that?
The beginning, I think it's more like him realizing he wasn't living the best lifestyle originally.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end, the more I listen to it, though, the lyric, whether you were there or not there, I also interpret it sometimes as like people who are in your life for a short amount of time, and then you like drift apart or you grow apart or there's some circumstance, but you still like learned a lesson from those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it absolutely is sad, like some people you just grow apart from. It's not anybody's fault, but it's life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this has been said before, but I heard this from just like a coworker the other day. He said, people come into your life as blessings and as lessons. And I think that that's so true. Obviously I think it can be both, but for sure I would say, yeah, we get caught in this thing a lot of the time where we might be sad or angry or resentful of something that happened between us and somebody else. It's like, while they were in your life, they were a blessing, and then when they left, that's a lesson. What did you learn from it? So either way, it's beneficial towards you. And everybody's on their own path. So sometimes you just gotta let it be. It's like, and I think the best relationships is like, even if you go weeks, months, years without talking, if you didn't have like a falling out or something, but you just kind of maybe just drift apart, you could see each other and chat for a minute, and even though you might not become best friends or whatever again, it can be a positive experience. Oh, how's it been? How you doing? How are things? This and that, and you just continue to go about your way.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
Hey, fucking man. I'm just happy that's not us, brother, man.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, I know we've gone short amount of times without talking and stuff. Like maybe not too consistently, but always like we always check in. We always see how each other are doing. Always, yes, yeah. Since we met, man. Since we met.
Damn straight, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is one of the longest friendships I have, and I definitely value it very highly. I appreciate you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mm. All right, I'm gonna get into mine because I've been thinking about it nonstop ever since I decided to do it. All right, so my quote is by, this might be a little controversial, but the greatest rapper to ever live.
Don't say it.
Lil Wayne.
Okay, bro.
What do you think I was gonna say?
Usually that comment goes one of two ways. Like you're genuine with it, or you're gonna say some wild.
Yeah, say some bullshit. Yeah. I'm sure there are some people like, what's he about to say? What's going on? But no, in my opinion, greatest rapper to ever live, Lil Wayne. He said in his song "Blunt Blowin'," about the devil's lettuce, I assume.
We don't do smoking weed here.
He said, "Life is a choice, Death is a decision. Times have changed, but fuck it, get a new watch. I still got the vision like a line between two dots. Young money's eating, the label's getting fatter, and yeah, the tables turn, but I'm still sitting at them. Now, I'll read that one more time for everybody. Life is because it's a lot there. Life is a choice, but death is a decision. Times have changed, but fuck it, get a new watch. I still got the vision like a line between two dots. Young money's eating, the label's getting fatter, and yeah, the tables turn, but I'm still sitting at them. It may sound like the whole rhyme scheme didn't quite work, but I skipped the line before the first line because it didn't really tie in. But so I chose that. So I saw this short on YouTube last night. It was like an interview with Lil Wayne, and he was talking about this guy was asking him. He was like, "You've been doing this for 28 years." Crazy to think about. 28. That's how long he's been doing this. 28 years.
That's crazy.
But he was like, there must be a huge level of difficulty in doing that. Like, how do you maintain that? And he's like, yeah. And Lil Wayne's like, yeah, it's very difficult. The main thing is whatever is going on in music, you have to embrace it. You can't sit up there and say, oh, I don't like this kind of sound or whatever this is. You know, I'm gonna just be me and do this and do that. And he's like, no, whatever's going on, you gotta learn it, like it, and love it, and embrace it. You know, because you can have your own opinions and stuff, but when you look at the Billboard Top 100, Apple Music, you know, top songs and everything, that's music. He was like, you know, regardless of how you feel about it, that's music. That's what people like. That's what they want to hear. That's what you got to be to some degree. And so I thought that was really, really cool. And so then when I came to this one, you know, he's like, you know, times have changed. All right, fuck it, get a new watch. Basically saying, oh, things are so different. People want to get caught up in that, oh, it was better in my time. Oh, music's different. All right. So change with the times and get over it. You know, like, you know, when Jay-Z said, you know, they want my old shit. Can you buy my old album? Like, I don't, what do you mean? Like, if you like something that's from a different time, go listen to that. I'm on something different. I'm keeping up with the times. You don't stay on top of, not relevant, but on top of the music industry for 20 plus years without being able to evolve, you know?
That's funny you bring up Jay-Z too, because Lil Wayne is like a huge Jay-Z fan. I see what you did there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, I'm still trying to unpack some of it. Like, I do really like the watch line. Like, times are changing. Fuck, you get a new watch.
Yeah.
I do really fuck with that line because it can mean so many things.
Exactly. There's so much room for interpretation in every single line.
Like, that in and of itself, it's like people stuck in their old ways, or like they don't like new music, or they don't like something new changing.
Right.
Good or bad, that's life. Like,
exactly. That's life. You gotta evolve with it. You can't just say, you know, times are better when, you know, times are what they are now. They're gonna keep, the only thing that's consistent is change. That's right. It. And it's like, and so I think you can take it obviously on the music level, like what he's talking about, but obviously it kind of ties into what we were talking about just before that, which is like, you gotta keep changing and evolving as a person. There's this BS idea, oh, people don't change. What the hell are you talking about? Like, of course they change. It's just about, do they do it deliberately, intentionally, you know? No? Okay, if not, then they might stay the same for a while or for too long. But any person who eventually takes the time to be like, you know what, this is what I want out of life, I'm going to go change and make it happen. Going to have slips and falls along the way. It's not going to work out exactly how they imagine, but so long as they're working towards something new, they're going to change. And they're supposed to change.
Fuck yeah.
Another Jay-Z quote, which I really love, is like, you know, he said, like, people are always telling me, like, oh, you changed. And he's like, I didn't work this hard to stay the same.
Amen.
Yeah, that one hit me. That one, I had to sit back. I was like, damn. I think about that. Yeah, people are like, hey, you're supposed to change. the way we were, the life we were living, the whole point was we wanted more than, better than, right? So how, or rather, not even why, how would I get that? How would I get what I want while being the same person? That makes no sense. You don't want to lose your morals and values or forget where you came from, but you're not going to be the same person. It makes no sense.
The experiences you have won't let that happen.
Exactly.
You can't.
No.
You're either going to ignore it,
yeah,
or you can embrace it and change. It is one of two things, but at some point in time, you're either going to implode or you're going to improve. So, I mean, like, shit.
Yes, absolutely. I think, and I don't know if, because I wasn't necessarily into like music or hip hop or stuff. Obviously, when a lot of this stuff dropped, but like, when 50 Cent came out with Before I Self Destruct, like, I wonder if people really got like what that's about. It's like respect. I think that's natural for a lot of people in general, but especially somebody feeling all that pressure. Like, I have to succeed. People who are really going through it. Like, that's a lot to deal with. And you realize you need major change to get what you really think you want and you believe you can get. So you're gonna either get to a point where it's just like you just fucking like snap, or you snap on them and you're just like, boom, this is me, this is who I am, this is the new me, I'm doing it. Sometimes people might have a problem with it, sometimes people are gonna be proud of you, but you can't let it affect you either way.
No. I'll tell you what, though, I would not ever want that level of fame, though. Straight up.
Oh, God, no.
Never want to be that famous.
No. Oh, hell no. No, I can't. Like we were saying earlier, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that.
Dude.
It's crazy, especially in the music industry. Like I mentioned it in the group chat earlier about how, like, if you're an artist and, let's say you really reach like the spotlight doing a certain kind of music, and now you want to do something else, taking a huge risk. You're taking a huge risk that people might be like, I don't want to hear this shit. I want to hear this. I want to hear that. Do what you've always done. But then they might be like, oh, you're always doing the same thing. Why don't you do something new? Oh, but we don't like the new stuff. It's a whole, it's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, damn if I do, damn if I don't.
And it's not running the risk. It's more like fans. When fans like somebody's music, they usually gravitate towards a certain project. And it's like, this is my shit.
Yeah.
And then when they, like you're saying, try and do something new and explore new avenues, those fans will be like, nah, that shit is corny. So, like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, no. But then other people will gravitate towards that. Like, an artist I noticed recently who has to deal with that a lot is The Weeknd, I think.
Oh, yeah. He just dropped the album maybe a month ago?
Beginning of January.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's more like bangers.
And
it's like turn-up music.
Right.
Whereas a lot of people like his more melancholy, sadder stuff.
Right.
So then he'll drop a banger album or a sadder album, and then like the fans are like split in two, and they'll like branch off. It's like he's the same artist. He's just like trying to do different things, so it doesn't make sense. And it's just like crazy to think about.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, especially someone like him, where he's definitely established himself, his name, his status. And I think even in terms of, in history a bit, like if you talk about like music history, especially like the like R&B type genre and stuff, at this point, you're going to have to bring up his name when you talk about the history of it. But he's still like fairly new. Like, he hasn't been doing this for decades. It's like, if there's any time to explore yourself as an artist, like people forget, people become fans, like of the music. You got to remember, that's a person. That's a human being. They got into music, yes, to entertain people, to make money and all that. But for a lot of them, that's just their form of expression. Like, that's their mental health. Like, that's just like what they do for fun. Like, they want to, appease to their fans, but it's like most of them, I think the best ones, they could do what they do the way they do it and not care how many people go and listen. They want to expand their audience. Obviously, they want to, but I think that they're doing what makes them happy. I think people forget that.
And it shows through most people's music. It's the mental health thing. Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, yo, so that quote, what was the original quote we were talking about there with Lil Wayne, though?
Yeah, let's give it to him one more time. Damn, every line. Life is a choice, but death. And death is a decision. Times have changed, but fuck it, get a new watch. I still got the vision like a line between two dots. Young money's eating, the label's getting fatter, and yeah, the tables turn, but I'm still sitting at them.
Bars.
For those not versed in lyricology, so when he says I still got division like a line between two dots, the division in math, the symbol is two dots with a line in between, and he's saying division, but also the vision, like his vision, a visionary. He's using that. It's called the double entendre. So and if you combine it with the other lines, it's super crazy because it just ties into everything. He's saying like, still as long as I've been doing this at this point, I still know what they want. I still know what they like. I'm still the man. I still know how to make music that's gonna get them hyped up, that's gonna make them feel it's gonna sell. But in the same scheme, saying, but I gotta change with the times too. I'm Lil Wayne. I'm the shit. I've been doing this for 20 years. I still have to acknowledge when it's like, well, this is what they want. Give the people what they want. But especially that first line, like, life is a choice, death is a decision. It's like, that one's a lot to unpack even just by itself.
So how do you take it? Like, at face value?
Well, yeah, I say that line, life is a choice and death is a decision. I forget who it is, but there's a philosopher, probably multiple ones, who believe basically all you are is the choices you make in your life. Like when you look back at your life, like, okay, I was an accountant, I had a wife and 3 kids and a dog, and every single thing that created that was choices. Choice after choice after choice. Whether it was a choice to do something or not to do it, it was choices. All you are is the choices you make. And so I think that kind of what he's saying is like, yeah, the life you create is your choices. And then I think death, not necessarily like in a literal terms, like the end of your life, but like, let's say like, I decided to stop drinking. I decided to stop partying. I decided to walk away from something. I decided I want better for myself or whatever. That's a decision. It's like it's not necessarily a death, but like it's like an ending. An ending of a chapter, but then the ending starts a beginning, and you choose to have that new beginning. That beginning is a world of new choices. I think that's kind of how I take it. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Like it's
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to say it because it is a lot.
Yeah. Well, I would say like for me, like when I made the choice to do this podcast, like it was a choice, but it was also a decision. Like I had a lot of choices, or still have a lot of choices of how I can go about my life and express myself and connect with other people. And I made the choice to do it like this, to do it where I can sit down and have cool discussions with people, broaden my mind and learn new things. But it was also a decision. I feel like for a long time I had the idea of it and things like that and other ideas, but I finally decided to get out of that place of like, should I, shouldn't I, how do I? It was just like, no, we're just gonna do it and go from there. It was a decision to be like, no, this place of like, should I, shouldn't I, we're done with that. We're just gonna, and I made the choice to do it. I think it's so. And honestly, for me, it feels like I'm in a whole different world. It feels like I'm on a whole different level, a whole different version of me, like doing something that I enjoy, and it makes no difference to me if it's 2 people or 2 million people listening. I'm gonna keep doing it because I love it.
I'm proud of you, brother, man. Like keep pushing, please.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
You got a lot of good things to say, and I think the world needs to hear it. Honestly.
Thank you, man.
Oh yeah. Damn, like you just crushed that quote. Like that sounds good. Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm telling you, I was thinking about it for hours before we started this, so I was prepared. You said you have a second quote, right?
Yes.
All right, let's get into it.
You know, we're talking about music. Like,
yes, sir.
You know, I had to represent, like.
In case anyone, for those just listening on Spotify or something, my man has on a Sick Ick sweater. If you haven't heard of Sick Ick, check him out on Spotify or YouTube. Shout out Sick Ick. Very incredible artist, genius. I don't know what else there is to say.
Sick Ick, if you're listening or you find this, please put out originals. I love your mashups; they've been dope. But this man has not put out an original since Halloween. It's like everything's been fire as always. Please drop some new material.
Sick Ick, if you're listening to this right now, hit me up. We're gonna do a track together.
Damn right. Dark Combat and Sick Ick, damn straight.
Yes, sir.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes, sir. What do you got for us?
Alright, so this is from Sick Ick's song Windows. And it goes, close to stars, into outer space, where things don't move so fast and feel so out of place. I just can't believe you're running out of faith. Please believe me now that I need you now.
One more time for us, please.
Yes, sir. Close to stars, into outer space, where things don't move so fast and feel so out of place. I just can't believe you're running out of faith. Please believe me now that I need you now.
Wow.
Off face value, that shit is beautiful as fuck.
No, that is beautiful. I don't think you said that's from Windows.
I'll send you the song. I got you.
Also, yeah, most definitely. I can't believe I haven't heard that one. Oh my god. So what does that mean to you?
So I have been with the most beautiful woman on the planet. You know who you are, and I love the fuck out of you. I love you, girl.
And you better subscribe.
Damn right. But like, I'm madly in love, and like, I've always been more prone to like emotional songs and like loving songs.
Yeah, something that makes you feel.
Person. For that, because I truly know what it feels to be in love, it's like somebody having that much faith in you and losing it. I don't ever want to picture that and have it be that detrimental. Like, and like when he's talking about going into outer space, where things don't move so fast or feel so out of place.
Right.
It's like when I'm with her, like everything slows down and I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Right. Damn, man, that's beautiful. I'm really happy for you guys.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
And I picked this one also because I wanted that dichotomy between like more on the serious side and somber and a little bit lighter and like more uplifting. Yeah. Because that's music too, and that's fucking life. Like,
yeah, that's music. Yep.
That balance, for real, that balance.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about music is it can just take you to different places, and it can, like, you can just, whatever mood you're in, you can just switch to it right then and there because someone else decided to make something beautiful and share it with the world. That quote is crazy, man. I really can't believe I haven't heard this song either. So like I listened to your playlist with the Sick Ick one. I'm pretty sure I listened to all of it, and I've listened to a lot of his stuff on YouTube, even some of the more like hidden gems. But I can't believe I haven't heard that. Maybe I have. But
to give you context for it too, like my state of mind for being madly in love like I am. The music video is completely fucking polar opposite though.
Oh, I mean, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So it's him like being dragged in the middle of a field with like a 6-foot hole in the ground, and like this woman's like walking up to him smoking a cigarette.
Oh shit!
Rips off his mask he wears because, as you and I know, like
right.
audience out there, this man stays wearing a mask. Like,
yep,
he does not ever show his face.
And really check him out. Yeah, it's cool.
But like, she rips off his mask and then she like throws him into the hole and like lights it on fire. So there's that dichotomy for it too. Like,
oh man, that sounds familiar. That reminds me. I don't know if you've seen. I might have shown it to you, but the track "Good Guy" by Eminem featuring Jesse Reyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we seen that video we watched. I think we watched that together.
Yeah.
Yes, very similar. Yeah, so it reminded me of that immediately.
So when you hear it, the quote, do you look at it more optimistically or more pessimistically?
I would say I'm like, not to like as a cop out, but I guess I'm kind of like more in the middle. Because it's, I guess when I hear it, it kind of gives me more of an optimistic feeling, even though it maybe kind of sounds like if I was taking it at face value, he's talking about it from more of a somber place. To me, I take it optimistically because even if the relationship went sour or whatever, or she lost faith in him or vice versa or whatever, it's like just the fact that you could ever even find someone to be in that place with, where it's like, and I think that's a lot of reason that like, I think that like, any kind of like substance, but especially like psychedelics and stuff, I think that stuff cool. It's good to experiment. I don't think it shouldn't be a lifestyle in my opinion, but it's good to experiment because you can experience feelings and emotions you didn't even know existed or were capable or things like that, or even something just like very small and simple like marijuana, just feeling like totally just like there with your music, just like I feel like I'm like on the moon just hanging out. You can get that naturally. But the thing is, you have to be in a very special place for that to happen. And sometimes it takes being with a very special someone for that to happen. Like the way he talks about it, like we're up here, in the stars where everything slows down. I feel like when you're with someone you really, really connect with and care about, and you guys can just be there with each other, it's like nothing else matters. You forget the whole world exists. And that's an incredible place to be in. Even if it doesn't last forever, I mean, damn, that can hurt and it can suck and it can take time to get over it. But it's like if you find someone to have that with for a lifetime, that's incredible. But even if it's only for, a few weeks, a month, a year, a night, it's still incredible. And now wow, I could feel like this. And then that's what that might motivate you to be like, you know what, I want to get my shit together and find someone where I can be like this with. So I think for me it's very, especially with a lot of the music he puts out, I don't want to say it's contrast because I think there's music he makes that actually relates to him and the music that's just kind of music. I think that especially in contrast to some of the stuff where it's more like Playboy type stuff, I think it's really cool to have that kind of thing, and that's what makes him great as an artist. Is you can go back and forth between that kind of stuff depending on your mood.
Respect.
Yeah.
You need both.
You do need both. Absolutely. You do need both.
It's like certain R&B artists or certain people, I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to shit talk people because they're doing their things, they're getting their bag, right. Cheaper getting paid.
Yeah.
about me. But certain artists will like get in a niche and like stay there, and then it's the same thing over and over and over. Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna get all the money, I'm gonna fuck all the chicks, like I'm gonna do all the drugs. It's like, that's great.
Yeah.
But me as a person trying to listen to music, I'm not always in a fucking turn up mood. I'm not always in like, hey, let's get up. I'm not always like, I can't. I need a little bit of everything to go.
Yeah.
And listen to like. I'll be goddamn, like I'm trying to turn down and relax. I'm not gonna listen to fucking like some crazy gangster rap before, like when I'm just trying to relax.
Right.
I was like, absolutely, let's fucking go. I'll play some music, like.
Yeah, hit him up every night before bed. Yep.
Play some DMX before you try and go to sleep. Get real nice and mellow with it.
Oh my god.
Shout out DMX though. Rest in peace, my guy.
Yeah, rest in peace. Oh my god. No, I still throw on X Gonna Give It To You at the gym every now and then. Shit, classic. But no, that's true, man. You gotta have that balance. It's like I know definitely for me, I usually am geared towards just like 3 or 4 different artists. That's pretty much all I listen to. And then, but it's like every now and then I gotta step outside of that just entirely and just find some stuff that's like totally outside of my wheelhouse. Like I went through this big, like, not big I guess, but like this phase of just like Celtic like music, stuff you would imagine to like hear if you want a pirate ship. Just like that kind of stuff. And I went from that to like Beethoven and then to like 80s music. And it's just like I gotta like get all over the place and experience new stuff, you know, and then come back to my more like normal stuff. Just like you having that balance is super important. That's one of the biggest things that music offers. I think that, and so artists, yeah, you know, I get like it's like you got, you know, don't fix what's not broken. But yeah, and that's when I question. It's like I might like your music, but like you as an artist per se, I'm just like, I don't know how much, like, a big thing for me, like, I feel like I like an artist more if I feel like I could have a conversation with them. Like, if I would actually hang out with an artist, I'm more likely to like their music, I think. There's a lot of artists who make great music, I wouldn't want to hang out with them. For various reasons, but I wouldn't, no, I'm good. But like my favorite ones are the ones I think make the best music. I would love to hang out with them and pick their brain, you know.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Like Sick Ick. Oh my god. Like I don't know if he'd necessarily ever tell you, but to imagine asking him like, bro, what is your process? How do you do this shit? Because some of like the mashups and stuff he has, his own stuff is incredible, but like how things he decides to mash up. He did, what was it? The astronaut in the ocean mixed with Adele. I'm like, how do you even think of that? And that was fire. How do you think of that?
Rolling in the deep and then astronaut in the ocean.
Yeah, and that was fire. Oh my god, I outplayed that. Oh my god.
And you have to have such a knowledge of music to like know certain songs specifically to play together.
Yeah. Yeah, your brain just has to work in a whole different way.
I think like I would have to ask why he wears a mask. I wouldn't like pressure him because I'm sure a million people, why do you wear the mask?
Right.
But it's like that genuine question, that curiosity. It's like
yeah, not asking them from like, oh, I want you to take your mask off. Why do you wear a mask? I'm just like, why did you decide to do this? Because like he's always worn the mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I wonder if that's like a fame thing or just like a him thing, a confidence thing.
He was in this group called Culture Shock, and I like saw a music video where he didn't wear a mask. He went by Lomatic, but his Sick Ick personality has always been with the mask.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's very original. I'm not super well versed in music. I can't think of anybody else who wears a mask like regularly like that.
Daft Punk. But besides those two,
okay, yeah.
But then he also like gave a shout out to Daft Punk in his music video for No Game.
Oh, okay. See, I wonder if that's part of what inspired it. That's like, has he ever done interviews? Like anything?
I've seen two.
Two? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look it up because I've never even thought about that. But I would love to just like hear what's going on with him, and that I really love doing that. Like seeing interviews of artists, especially those that aren't super like. I feel like there's artists who are more celebrities than other artists, you know. So I feel like he's obviously one of those where it's just like he just kind of does his thing. So that sounds awesome.
That dude's the shit. Sick it, give the shit. If you're watching this, you are the shit, my guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And like that quote, he's got so many of those in a lot of the songs.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when we have you on in the future, we'll get into more of his stuff for sure. Definitely, because he's got a lot of stuff. I really like him. Definitely. And Sikik, if you are listening to this, we would love to have you on the podcast, or any artist, writer, poet, or anything out there. We would love to have you on the podcast. That's also part of it. Like I wanna connect with artists and stuff out there. You know, whether they're famous or whatever or not. Like just people like we know too. Just like getting into like, okay, so you said this. What were you going through? What were you feeling? Why did you word it like this? You know what? Yeah, what's your process? That's kind of like a goal I have for this. That's part of why I wanted to do it.
That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah, we gotta get Dr. Homeboy on here next.
Damn right.
Yeah. I think he's finishing up an album, isn't he? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll still hit him up later, most definitely. You're next. My next victim. Yeah, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, yeah. Well, I know you gotta get up early in the morning. We're just about reaching the timeline what we were looking at. Yeah, man. I want to thank you so much for coming on today. It was
dude.
Absolute pleasure, and we're gonna get you back on. Definitely, please, if you do end up doing the podcast before you ship out for Cali or whatever, let me know. I'll hop on there. I'll promote it on here. But most definitely, this man has an incredible music knowledge. We only got a little taste of his knowledge and his opinions today, but it's really incredible.
Appreciate you, brother. Dude, I am very honored to be here. Thank you very much for your time, man. Like seriously, this has been the highlight of my day for sure, and like it's given me hope to bring the Sandcastle back. I appreciate the fuck out of you, my guy.
Absolutely, man. Highlight of my day too. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining in once again. I'm your host, Octavius William Lundy, joined today by my dear friend Echo. This has been Notable Quotables. Everybody have a wonderful night and stay blessed out there.
Stay up, y'all.